everybody. Welcome to another week of Riding Rodrigo. And we're lucky, super lucky to have one of Rodrigo's old friends, changing it up a bit because it's been all of my friends and my family for a long time. So we got Rodrigo's friend here. And Rodrigo, do you want to introduce us? Who is this guy?
Uh, this guy, I think he's better off introducing himself. But this guy is one of my oldest friends. We've been friends for 20 years. I think 20 years, I guess.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, there was a batch of people, Barbosa, Fabio, and Thiago. In a span of 3 to 6 months, I met them all, and a bunch of nerds. Okay, but cool nerds, not Fabio. Well, anyways, he's one of my oldest friends, and we have a long history. We played together. I helped him play. I taught him so much. I'm like a teacher, a mentor, a guru to him. So today, he's gonna talk a little about how much I influenced him throughout his life. Okay, the show is gonna be about that, right?
Wow.
So,
Thiago, is it easy to be friends with somebody who's so humble?
For the record, who is this guy, Brian? Because
Yeah.
did you get the joke here? Because
I don't know. He just wandered into the call and he started talking. So I don't know.
yeah, I know.
since I'm everywhere, right? Because of my size, nobody cracked that joke yet.
Clever. Yeah.
So I'm in the call as well. So,
you
Thiago,
guys,
please.
you didn't get the joke because I was like, who is this guy? Brian, and it is Ryan, your name, right? So I was, but I'm really good in doing bad jokes that people don't understand, So
You're,
that's on me. That's on me.
okay.
Let's see how many more you can do today. Let's go. There's one.
Oh, there will be
Well, so
a bunch.
I think people could notice that Thiago works in marketing because he just said something bad in a good way. He's good at making bad jokes. That means he's bad at making jokes.
Yeah,
He sucks at making jokes. But he used marketing.
and also
techniques.
friends. So second
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
But it's really nice to have Rodrigo as a friend, especially when my entire family knew him because there's like a few years that he doesn't get in touch with them because he hates them, but and they also don't like him too much. So yeah, better not talk about that. No, just kidding. No, it's really interesting to be friends of a guy like this because he taught me a lot. Yeah, and we were really close back in the day. Like we could say that. Yeah,
We slept together
I
in the same room.
really.
We did, yeah. At your
Okay.
place.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I remember that. So it's really fun, and he's like, I cannot remember one time that I was with this guy here, and I wasn't laughing, I was every time like laughing out loud, and in this next second crying because he made a joke about me, and I was like, that's unfair, man. So yeah, that's how it is to be friends of Rodrigo, with
Now,
Rodrigo.
okay, Thiago, tell us a little about you. I know that right now we've been apart for some years, right? You
Yeah,
well, we went separate ways, as the song says.
fortunately.
Yeah, no, but at some point, friends, like close friends, have to get apart a little to see how
Yeah.
much they miss each other. Okay.
Yeah.
And to move on with their lives. Okay, you were like you're holding me down, holding me back. So
You're right. Yeah.
no, I'm kidding. So but now you are something that I can't really explain what it is. Right now, you are a UX designer, right?
Yeah.
We're going back to that at the end of the show, like ahead of the show. We're going to talk a little about what UX is, but right now you are a designer. Am I correct?
Yeah, I've been. I'm a designer for my entire career, always designing some stuff. Yeah, you can say that.
All right. So, do you remember first thing? Do you remember how we met? Where and how?
Man, that's hard. I think I do. I think we met in it was like a clan that we were joining. Yeah, it called, I don't even remember the name. We gathered in a park in
Warning.
Santander. Yeah. So I think every Friday night or whatever, we had this internet clan. We were talking over the internet.
ICQ.
ICQ. Yeah, it was ICQ. And then we had this physic meetings where we would gather, people would like drink something, and that's, I think, where I met Rodrigo. And I think we started talking because he didn't drink and I didn't drink as well. And everybody was drunk as hell. And we weren't, So, yeah, so I think that's how we met. And the only sober guys, like among 35 people, at some point, we started hanging out, together and talking and
that's interesting. Something interesting to say. You never really drank, right? Maybe
no,
you just
not my
tried
thing.
and drink socially something, but I never ever saw you drink. It's not.
Yeah.
And thank God for that, because Thiago is like 6.5 feet tall and 257 kilos. He's a big presence, He's tall, very tall, and he speaks loud, and his voice is strong. So if he drank, everybody would notice. Everybody.
I would start to talk like that if I drink.
So that was how we met. A clan that everybody was in because everybody liked rock.
Rock and roll, baby. Yeah.
Rock. Okay.
But it was like most I think the lightest rock and style. I don't know if we can say like that. It was like hard rock, right?
Yeah,
and then it was like heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, what the fuck metal, and all the kinds of.
That's true. People that liked old rock, like Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd, heavy metal, Halloween, like the heavy metal, the city heavy metal Fabio likes, and everybody got together to drink and have fun and get together. The internet was new. That was 2001. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
The internet was new.
Yeah.
Everybody was learning how to use that, so we did that. We were on ICQ. We had a nickname. We had to put something on a nickname to identify that we were part of the clan.
Like a tag,
Like a tag. Rodrigo WNG. Warning.
Yeah. If you play online nowadays, it's the same thing, Yeah. It's the same thing.
I wouldn't know, but I saw people that go on Twitch. They have funny or weird nicknames.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Is this where you guys met Fabio also? No?
No.
Okay.
I think I met Fabio through Spike.
Yeah. Because he sings, right?
Yeah.
And I think we were in the same school of rock or something like that. And I think that's where I met Barbosa as well. Or did I meet Barbosa through you? I don't recall that.
Barbosa is like the incognito man. Like we.
Yeah. He's like.
Barbosa, you're here. Who are you?
And he's like he can make friendship with anyone. You name it, he will be friends with them.
Yeah, and he's not even very outgoing or crazy. He's just Barbosa.
He's like.
He's
he's pretty, and he has like this "I won't hurt you" face.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Yeah.
That's true. So we met because of music mostly.
Yeah.
And then Fabio also. And
we were all teaching Rodrigo how to listen good music,
Yeah, what was the music that
He
Rodrigo liked at the time, like Britney
he liked
Spears and
no, he liked
NSYNC.
Deftones. He was like
Okay,
Deftones kind of guy.
right.
Thiago is the only Thiago and Fabio, the only guys that don't like Deftones that I know. Well, Ryan, because Ryan probably doesn't know that well. But for my oldest friends, we all like Deftones. Love the favorite bands. Thiago doesn't like it, and he likes.
Like
Panic
Newfound
at
Glory
the Disco.
kind of bands.
I
Yeah,
like
Panic at the Disco. What else?
I can't make fun
Goldfinger.
of anything like Goldfinger.
That's a very like 2000 2001 band.
Yes.
It
I love
only
it.
it really only exists in that time period.
That's true.
I'm actually
Yeah.
amazed that the three of us admit that we remember Goldfinger.
Yes.
Because
But did you see what they did? What they did? Yeah, I know. I know you guys speak really good English. I keep correcting myself in my mind. And
you got it,
sometimes I
man. You
correct
did it.
myself wrong. But okay. But during the quarantine, whatever, they were making some gigs and some videos. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I was like going back into my 2000s, listening Goldfinger, and going to my wife. This song is crazy. You gotta hear it. Yeah. So I went back to the 2000s in this quarantine time.
big ska comeback is coming, right?
Yeah.
A real big fish at that time.
Real big
Thiago,
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thiago and I, not only at that time. Thiago mostly liked punk pop or hardcore bands.
Yeah.
I liked Blink 182. I've always loved Blink 182, and maybe some other bands, but Blink 182 and Green Day. But Green Day is not punk pop. Blink 182 was the band I've always liked from that time, from that genre.
We used to have a mohawk. Sorry, Rodrigo, go ahead.
It's true. That's true, Ryan. I used to have a mohawk.
Oh yeah.
Same here.
Thiago did too, yeah. Thiago,
Were you guys
don't
in a
go
band?
Too far.
No.
If we were in a band,
Yeah.
Not together.
You
but,
guys had like matching mohawks. Were you guys in a band together? Like
Thiago was in a band. Thiago was always
the Fat Mohawks. That could be your name.
yeah. But
Awesome name.
one thing that I gotta say, I'm fat, but I'm flabby, saggy. I don't know. Thiago he's overweight, but he looks stronger. He doesn't look fat. He looks stronger.
Like, boom, motherfucker.
He has a powerful presence.
Yes. Other than his
Fart. When I
Like-
fart, it's
No.
really powerful. But...
other than his silly aura, he has a powerful presence. If he's quiet, he has a powerful presence. He starts speaking, you're like, he's nice. Yeah. So Thiago was always more outspoken than I was. He had connections. He talked to people in an easier way. I was always more quiet and shy. Funny but quiet and shy. And
Really
so
funny. Really
yeah.
funny.
Thiago had bands that I helped with. I was always with the bands. So I was the groupie,
Were you the roadie? You carried
He was,
shit everywhere.
No, he was the guy. When you are on stage, like in Portuguese we would say you have your ass in your hand. Like you're afraid. And you're kind of nervous because of. I mean, we always had like a bunch of 3 people watching us play, and Rodrigo was one of them. And he was the guy that when you play your guitar like this and you don't know if the sound is good, you look straight to him and he was like, and you're like, I have confidence, and then you could play for.
Yeah, that's true. I
10
was
minutes.
like not officially, but a producer roadie because mostly for Thiago. For Krusty too sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I told him if the guitar was good or not because I always had good musical ears, so I helped them with that. We spent a while doing that, right? You guys playing, and I went every concert
Yeah.
with you guys. It was very cool. The band was it was fun to be around it, but the band was not that good. You know, they played well, but it was just the style. I didn't like it so much, but I liked to be around it. The energy was amazing. It was really cool.
Did you guys just play like in Santo Andre, or did you go into São Paulo and where else too, or was
That's São Paulo, São Bernardo.
San Bernardo cool?
Yeah, yeah.
Most of ABCs.
I mean, I played like I played in like São Paulo, Santos. In São Paulo, pretty. I mean, from the big city until like a town like 6 hours away. We played also in other states like Curitiba, and we were like. There was a time that we had like every single weekend we had some gig. Always with like 3 to 5 people watching, counting with the other bands, you know. So, but I had a really great,
real big gig, big, you know,
yeah,
big audience.
I don't know if Rodrigo, if you were there when we played in Santos. It was one of my first bands at the time, but it was in a moment that the punk pop scene was like in a like it was underground, but it was mainstream at the same time, you know. Everybody was there. Every teenager was going to this kind of concerts, and we played in the city of Santos, which is in the beach, where there's a big band called Charlie Brown Jr. that is like from the city, and the lead singer of this band, he's like this really awesome guy, crazy. He passed away already, but he's really mainstream and really famous. They were the most known band in all the country at the time. Like I think for all the times in Brazil, I think Charlie Brown is like one of the most known bands. It's like if we're talking about Suicidal Tendencies, you know. And we went to play. I don't know if Rodrigo, if you were there. I don't know if we were in our break apart time already, but we were waiting to go on stage, and I saw somebody rolling with their skateboards in the middle of the road, you know, in front of the beach, and I thought, I called Renan, which was the lead singer and guitarist for our band, and I said, hey, do you think it's Chorão, which is the lead singer of this huge band? And he said, no, you're kidding. And it was the guy. He went inside the place we were going to. It's like, I mean, it's like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Eddie Vedder walking in.
Yeah.
Walking into your concert. I have a grunge band, like starting grunge band, and then Eddie Vedder walks in, like, what's happening?
Yeah.
So you just freeze.
He went, and I was frozen. For real, and he went in, and when we started playing, he started to ride his skateboard in front of the stage, because there was a bunch of nobody in the room, so he could like skateboard, and we were like playing like this. Damn! And after
somebody please record this.
Yeah, I mean, and when we got out of the stage, he called me and he said, "I like their band. Do you know the guys from Overlife Inc., which is another band from the neighbor?" And I know the guys, and I want to release them. And in my head, I had only, shit. He just saw my band. He asked me to introduce him to another.
And I remember that day when he told you, do you also know Rodrigo? This handsome
He's my
guy.
Inspiration, yeah.
Yeah, I love him. I would like to marry him.
He was really high on drugs, but he said it.
So, Thiago, that was a very good story, especially because my next question is about your career, if I can say that, in music. Have you ever... I played for bands for a long time, and of course, if you play for a band when you're young, you consider being a musician. You consider like, but did you consider for real being a musician, or you knew exactly? No, I want to be a designer. I'm not gonna be. I just play for fun. How did you feel about music at that time?
Mm. I mean, until I was 23 years old, I have this not milestone, this threshold, I think, yeah, in my life. So if I hit 23 and my band is not like mainstream, I'm gonna do something else, because I don't want to be like a musician in a country where music is not important. So yeah, for a while I think it was always my dream always was to be this really mainstream musician like Dave Grohl. I love to be Dave Grohl, but
Wouldn't
not
everyone
just
want to be Dave Grohl? I mean,
right.
he's
Right?
friends with everyone. He's always doing something
Exactly.
like Paul McCartney and Dave
Exactly.
Grohl are hanging out at the park.
Because
Dave,
Paul McCartney
Exactly.
asked. Because
Yeah.
Paul McCartney
Exactly.
asked.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and not I didn't want to be Dave Grohl because of the money and I mean to be famous. I don't give a shit about that. But it was just to have fun all the time and to get to work in something that we really love. And somehow I could do that because I really love what I do. So I think I could match. I'm not Dave Grohl in design. I mean, nobody knows me, but I'm happy. So
We know you, man. Ryan and I know you. No, you're not gonna cry,
yeah,
right?
but you guys are nobody, right? So I
You
mean,
did. No. Yeah, that's true.
What do you mean we're nobody? We have our own podcast show. What have you done?
yeah, you're right. You're right.
I
did
don't
do
have a
nothing.
microphone to drop. My microphone is like a small one, so I can
Take the remote control, Bam.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, just broke it. Okay, so
just broke it.
all right, so so until you were like 23,
Yeah,
you
23,
had
yeah.
that you had that in your mind. If I'm 23, it's like what you have with me. And if I'm 40 and I don't get married, we would get married to each other, right? But then you found Anna and you ended up getting married.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Anyways, so and then 23 came and
I was
your band
already
was-
working as. I mean, I had this band for like 10 years, where everybody was telling us, "Oh, you guys are really good. You're like really good," but nobody was going to concerts, right? So
yeah, people tell us all the time.
So my mom, she tells me that I'm beautiful, but and my wife, but you know, so I decided to move on and I started to focus in my career rather than in playing in bands. But I never considered myself a professional musician. I have friends that are, and I was like, for me, Rodrigo is like 20 times more professional than I am in music, because he plays really good, he knows how to sing, he listens to a song and he knows that what are the chords to play it. And I get to do that, but it takes me time. I have to listen 3-4 times. And Rodrigo, he's like listening twice the song is like already playing, and I was like, ah. But I never considered myself a professional musician, but a professional designer, yeah.
Okay, and why did you choose? Like when you were 23, had you already chosen design?
Yeah.
Or no? Like no, design chose me. Was
No.
was it like that, or like was it a very practical thing because you were working some job because you knew it? How did you find out? How did you find out about design?
It was Krusty, Renan, this guy that we were really friends back in the day, and he was doing all the logo or all the flyers, the posters for our gigs, and I thought it was amazing, and I was like, oh man, he does some really beautiful stuff. I want to do things as well. So I asked him, hey, could you teach me, bro? And I was like, I think I was like 17 or 18 at the time. And he was like, oh yeah, but you're not good at it, so never mind. And I was like, yeah, but teach me, please. And he started teaching me. So he named me the softwares, and I started to do something as well. And like fast forward like 1 or 2 years later, I was like working in this event company. They were doing some gigs all the time, um, and um, and I was doing posters professionally for samba groups or every kind of style of music that I didn't like, and I learned how to like while working in this first second job. Actually, the first one, it was in an agency where I get to meet Marcos, which is like somebody that it's one of my closest friends nowadays as well, and he taught me all the fine details about design. You know what I didn't get to learn by myself, or with this friend, this ancient friend. He taught me professionally things about alignment, contrast, repetition, proximity, and stuff, and all these concepts behind design and how to do it professionally. Um, and that at that time, I think I was already 22 or 23 years old or something like that.
That was that time you were in the event, so agency, then event company, right? As a starting designer.
Yeah.
And then I remember uh, we were apart for some years, for a while. I don't remember how long, but we were apart, uh, and I saw that you were working in a very, very big company. I said, "Oh, nice, man, nice." Finally, some of my friends, someone in my group of friends, like did well, and I said, I didn't imagine it would be Thiago, but okay, so yeah, judging for what? So and then well, I don't know if this is if this company is in America, right? But it's like Home Depot. It's called Leroy
No, exactly,
Merlin
America.
or Leroy Merlin, or
That's it.
I have no idea how to say that. In Portuguese, it's Leroy Merlin. In
Yeah.
English, it would be Leroy Merlin, and in France,
France.
Thiago,
France.
Leroy Merlin. Yeah, in French
France.
is Leroy Merlin. Yeah.
Leroy Merlin.
It's like croissant, you know.
So, and
Voilà.
then,
Just don't pronounce it, and then you're pronouncing it in French.
yes,
That's
exactly.
it. And do some,
Yeah.
that's
So,
it. Yeah.
and then agency, event company doing samba posters and everything, and that was very interesting. That what you said, I identified that those were styles and genres that you didn't like, but you ended up learning how to like them by having contact with, allowing yourself to be in touch with them, and that exact thing happened to me because of my students, my teenage students, my younger students. I in class, I I would bring like a Beatles song, or no, not even. Beatles is really old, like 60s. Guns N' Roses from the 90s, when I was a child. And my student said, uh, that's old. That's very old. And that hurt. I said, "No, I was alive. I remember. I was a child or a teenager. That's not old. Not teacher, that's old." So I said to them, what do you guys like? Nego do Borel, I said, in English, Beyonce, or, and I said, okay, you guys like punk and port. So I started to bring some other things, and I needed to listen to Beyonce, for example, 30 times because I was preparing a song lesson, and I started to love all of that. So that's really interesting. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like when that happens.
I think that I'm more professional in music nowadays. That I'm not playing like for the past month. I didn't even hold my guitar, but I know how to recognize good music, even though it's not my preferred style. You know, so we got rid of all this prejudgment stuff that we had in our mind just because it ain't rock. I mean, screw that, you know. And the guy from School of Rock, what's his name?
Jack Black.
Jack Black. I mean, he slapped in the face of every rocker that think, oh, rock is the real deal, or poser better, when he invited the bassist from
Junior Grovador.
Junior Gravador, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is rock and roll, right?
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
you're like accepting the difference of everybody because everybody's accepting your differences. And I mean, I think that defines not just what is music for me, but also what is design for me, you know. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That was deep.
Yeah, right?
Ryan, you have a question?
Yeah, I did have a question. It was interesting to me that you got into design, but you didn't ever like do a course on design, did you?
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You learned it by doing it, yeah. And now you must work with a bunch of people who studied it at college, who did a bunch of courses, think that they're hot shit because they studied it for 10 years, right? But like, my question is, which way do you think is better? Do you think it's better to like go out and fail miserably trying to make a bunch of shitty posters for 5 years and learn through failure, or to go spend a bunch of money on a design school? What's better?
Just a detail. Not only that, but not only does he work with people, does he probably work with people, but he's probably the boss of some people.
I'm certain.
So,
yeah.
Yes, I'm certain. So, sorry, you can answer the question now.
But I mean, nobody that answers you either one either one answer or the other one, they are right.
Okay.
The golden answer there is it depends, right? I like to learn my shit fading, you know, that's my thing. And sometimes when I'm struggling too much, why not pay for somebody that knows better than me to teach me, you know, or going to some school or some course. I've been doing this for my entire life. Design, yeah, I didn't. If I cannot say I didn't pay for the learnings I had in design because I bought books. I went to a few lectures, not like this formal school, but it depends. You know, whatever makes you learn better and in a way that you get to put in practice what you learn, it's the best for you. You know, so for me it was I like to learn on my own, and sometimes when I know what I don't know, I get to pay or to buy something or some, you know, to learn this missing part. So it depends. And for what Rodrigo said, yeah, I led in France when I was working back in France. I had to work with some guys that French people, they like to study. They like to know their shit before committing to do some paid work for that. So I had several people working for me that they had like way more study than I did, but I had like way more experience. And even though I was their boss or their leader, I was learning from them every day, all day long, and they were learning from me something somehow at the same time, you know. So it could be some design concept like color, like the psychology of behind colors, you know. I could know something by experience, and they were like saying, okay, this is what you said, the name is this, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I know what I can search to go deeper in this subject right now. And the other way around, it was also true, like they were applying, I don't know, shadows in a given way, and I was like, oh, have you ever tried this? And he was like, how the hell do you know that? And I was like, yeah, I don't know, I was testing out, or I was watching some video on YouTube and I saw the guy was doing, you know. So when you're open to learn new stuff, it doesn't matter if you're paying or not. And so that's why my answer is it depends. I don't care how you're gonna learn. The best way for you is the best way for me, you know. So.
And how did you get? You said that you were in France and you were the boss of. That made me feel good. You were the boss of a bunch of French people that studied much more, and you were the boss of a bunch of French people. That was cool, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, how did you get to France? How did you get to Leroy Merlin or Leroy Merlin?
Yeah. So before going to, because I like to match. I always like to combine stuff, you know. So I learned a lot about design with Marcos, my first boss, and before that with Hena, which was a really good friend. Then I started putting more knowledge on top of design, you know. So I started learning business and how I could use design to drive business results. Then I started to learn how I could use design to make people work better together, like have visibility, you know, all this kind that all this thing they are talking about agility and stuff like that. So design was always like helping me to learn new stuff throughout my career. And before joining Leroy Merlin, I was working for some really huge companies as well. So I worked for a bunch of huge companies actually, and Leroy Merlin was the result of the good work I was doing in one of those companies. And some guy from France, he found me, he found me on LinkedIn, and he sent me a message, you know, saying, "Hey, I took a look on some of your lectures online, or some of your, I know, your portfolio or whatever I had online at the time. I really like that. I'd like to invite you to have like this really lunch meeting where we could like, you know, hang out, chat, and see if it's a match, you know." And then I went to this lunch, and it was supposed to be like 30 to 35 minutes, like more like a coffee than a lunch, but we still like 2 hours and a half. And at the time, I was working a TV channel, yeah, a really famous one here in Brazil, and not the biggest, but everybody knows it. And yeah,
Which
if
one?
you lived here,
Bungie.
Bunch.
yeah. So I was working there with some really awesome and talented people. And I had this French guy inviting me to a challenge to do some retail stuff. And I was like, yeah, why not? So that's how I joined Leroy Merlin. And this guy, he's called Gaetan, or Gaetan in French. And he was like really a crazy fucker. I love this guy. He was also a close friend nowadays. But at the time, he was like my boss. And he invited me. And the goal was to do some digital transformation into the company and to be the pilot of that with in a small team of like five guys. And we were doing burgers. Did you get this joke? 5 guys, burgers? No.
Just go. All right, go on.
And we nailed it. We did a really great project actually. So we were working like a small startup inside of a big company. Big companies, they are usually slow and you know, dense, and it's not like inefficient. And we were like moving fast as a you know, this small code as a startup, you know, as a startup should be. So we were like testing and failing every single day into some stuff. And after like 6 months working, and after having deployed a new system in the company, we increased the audience of their website like 1000%, you know, organically, not paying by, not advertising, not paid traffic, organic traffic. So my job was a really good part of it. The developers, they had a really huge part of it. We had this SEO guy, which is my partner nowadays. So we were a really close team, working, focusing on the experience for the users, so user experience, and also in the business results, and the things that were possible to code, right? So we were not like tripping in this crazy new project. No, it was like rice and beans, but done good. And after like 8 months, we grew, and we started to have the attention from all the leaders that were in Europe, and they started to fly over because they were spending like tons of money going to Stanford to get to know how startup works. And because big companies, they do that, you know, it's like when we were going to the zoo, they are going to these places where they can see this young, gorgeous people working and doing pretty great stuff, and they pay tons of money on doing that. I don't have nothing against that. I did one of these trips, and you can learn a lot from that. But somebody inside the group said, guys, you do you realize that you guys have one team in Brazil doing exactly what you're paying to see outside? But the difference is that they are doing in your context, in the context of the company, right? Because when you're seeing, it's like I'm playing football and I'm going to see the hot shots of basketball and how they play and how they train. I get to learn something, but it's somehow different, right? So, and they started coming, and like it was like every two to 3 weeks we had some foreign big boss, big director, leader of whatever coming into our office at a point that we already had keynotes of the stuff that we had deployed and the results of it, because we knew that at some point of the week somebody would say, hey, do you guys have like 2 hours available? Yeah, why? Oh, there is the new director of technology from the group. He wants to see what you guys did. And like, oh, yeah, let's do this. Can you have like 5 minutes to have a coffee and then you go? Yeah, take our time. Okay, So it was really like it is for Rodrigo to speak English or to play some guitar. It's like, hey, let's play some Wizard, and he was like, yeah, sure. And
you had it all prepared, everything ready, just to go and talk to whatever director was there that day. Wow.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. So a huge thumbs up for Gaetan, because he built this team like this with this mindset, and we learned a lot from him. But he's also an amazing guy because he lived for 6 years in China. So it's Portuguese we would say he's like pra frentex, like a forward-ish guy.
Person.
Yeah.
It's like modern.
Yeah. And he made his team and concise and fast and steady and really good. And then we were like presenting for everybody, and that's how I got actually invited to move to France. It was not that easy because I had to face some project, and it was like this. There was a project in group that was called Talent Booster, and it was like looking for the next talents of the group. And I was like inside of the selection process, and I passed with another 3 or 4 Brazilians. Then we went to Europe and started our journey over there.
Okay, that was a good explanation. Now, how was your now not about the work aspect, about your life, about your personal life. How was your experience in France overall? Tell me a little about the French people, the language, and your experience in general.
Where were you based? I'm curious.
I was in Lille, in the north,
Okay.
So it's cold as fuck.
Yeah.
But it was really good. At the beginning, it was weird because I started studying. My wife and I actually, it was really weird for us because we started studying French like 2 months before going, And at the moment we were in the plane, we were like, chill out. Oh, actually, I went first by myself, so I stood like 3 weeks over there, and then she joined me. But when I got there, it was like, it's cool. I know how. Bonjour. Ça va? I was like, I got my shit. I can do this. And then I got in the car with the guy that was going to work with me. What I didn't know is that I was in the north, right? So I was practicing French like for Paris or for São Paulo, We're talking Portuguese in São Paulo. It's not the same thing of talking Portuguese in Bahia, or talking English in New York. It's different from, I don't know, Texas.
London.
Yeah.
In the same country still,
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, I hopped into the car and I say, bonjour, ça va? And they was like, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Can we talk in English? And he was like, yes, sure. And I was like, can we just not talk? Because
Can you just mime, please?
So the first 3 months were like this. You know, it was like 4 p.m. I like I couldn't walk, I couldn't think. So my day was over like at the beginning, like at noon, my day was over. Then at 1 p.m. it was over. Then 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. until like 1 year later, where I could do the whole day without, you know, getting like this blue screen in my head at some point of the day where I still had to work. So it was really weird. The first year, this we were getting used. Is that the correct way to say it?
Yeah.
With the culture and how people were behaving, and it was really different than ours. Not bad, it's different. You know? At the beginning, you think it's bad because the only thing you know is how you behave in Brazil. Then you start to see, you know, this is not bad, it's different, right? So we learn how not to prejudge things that we don't know and how to accept. Again, you know, empathy, a little bit of it. Uh, um, but the cool thing that was really amazing is that every day was Saturday. The first year, I didn't know which day of the week I was because it's like discovering new stuff, and every day you learn something new. So I was like, every day was Saturday. The second year, still every day is Saturday. The third year, you know, Wednesday, you get to recognize it. In the fourth year, Monday is Monday, and say, okay, time to go. You know, so something like that. It was really good at the beginning. We were learning a lot of things, but also good and also weird. You know, I didn't know how to go in the street to buy some Coke. You know, some water.
Le Coke. You can just say that.
Le Coke.
And the weird part is that in the city we were, if you have a little bit of accent, they don't understand. So Coke, here we say Coca-Cola, right? And the short part is like Coca. And I was like, I would like some Coke. And they were like, what? I was like, Coca? And they were like, and I pointed and said, Coca. I said, putain, shit, yes. You know? So if you don't get the accent right, sometimes they don't get what you're saying because they are not used to have some foreign people talking with them.
Yeah.
So that was the weird part. But
I have the same experience, Thiago. Like when I tried to go buy bread at the bakery, and I'm like, hey man, I want 6 breads, 6 pints, and they're like, days, you want 10? No, 6. Okay, days. Okay, 3. No man, no. 6.
Oh, too many fingers. Tell me.
Come on, man.
I don't know how to count. Yeah, the same thing.
I know.
Thiago, I remember one of the, that would sound weird, but yeah, one of the cutest sentences Ryan said to me was he invited me to go to the bakery, but in Portuguese. He came to me. That was really cool. He came to me. I was in the school. I was out, just looking at the sky. You know, like what? And then Ryan came to me and he saw me. He was like, Rodrigo is like just out in the world, no context for life. So let me give him a context. Just let me invite him to go to the bakery. And he came and he said, Rodrigo, vamos à padaria. And I laughed. I said, okay, Ryan, we can go, but please don't say it like that. That was cute. But then, vamos à padaria. In English, yeah, the melody is perfect in English. Let's go to the bakery. Let's go to the bakery. But in Portuguese, you have to translate the words, and you have to translate the melody too. Vamos à padaria is more flat. It's flatter. Like, vamos à padaria. In English, it's like, do you remember Fucker and Sucker on Cacete Planeta? Ei, o que você está fazendo? Oh, meu Deus! They translated the words, but not the melody. So
exactly.
It's kind of what you're talking about.
And the same happened with me all the time. Nowadays, when I'm talking with some friend over there, it happens, you know. but it was really good. I mean, French people, they have this bad image, and everybody say, "Oh, French, they don't speak English, they don't like to speak." But the thing is, they are shy actually. So if they are not doing something really good, they are not doing it openly. You know, if I don't know you, I'm not going to spend my bad English with you because you're going to think that I'm an idiot. And this is something that they learn from school. You know, so I think it helped us a lot to learn how different is not bad, different is okay. You know, and sometimes different is even better than what we have here.
Most of the
So
time.
most of the times, yeah. So that's I think that was how I could summarize the experience. It was weird, but not in the bad sense. Like discovering new stuff and learning how to respect people doing something that you, from your culture, you find awkward, you know. But then you get and you get to understand actually from where this come from. And when you do understand that, you say, "Oh, I'm sorry if I was an ass with you because you said me this and I replied like this because I didn't know, you know." So it was interesting in this way. But I have to say that in this particular city that we were, people they are really welcoming you, really good. They are trying their best to understand whatever you're trying to say with. I was trying to
It's
say
a
with my
small
bad
town.
English.
How big is it?
It's like the size of a neighbor in São Paulo.
10,000, 20,000, 100,000 people.
In the metropolitan area is like 2 million,
Okay.
but the city, I think it is. I'm googling it. It's yeah, 200 people. You know, 250, I think.
Thousand.
250,000 or 250?
50,000. Sorry.
Ah, yeah. All right. So now I have two specific questions. First, everybody in the world talks about that. Everybody always when they talk French, they talk about that. First, the perfumes. Second, they don't shower. Have you heard? French people don't shower, and so not only French. Here in Brazil, what we know is that only Brazilian people shower. We think that nobody else in the world shower, and
It's
I'm
like what? You guys invented the shower just like you invented the airplane? Is that what you guys believe? Come on.
not. Let's not just no. I'm not going there. Okay, and that happened in France. If you don't know.
Oh,
The-
okay. Sure.
Anyway,
Uh
so
huh.
we'll have a
Really?
show about that.
We're gonna have a conspiracy theory show now. Is that what this is?
Right. So, anyways, so is it true that no, I know it's not true, but what is the truth behind French people don't shower? That's why they use perfume.
I mean, I did do shower, but what I
my
could,
God.
no, what I could, I never. I mean, I let me correct my answer because it might get weird.
If it's anything
I
other
hope-
than yes, then
I can I think it's a yes. They do shower. However, the thing is, they are repeating their clothes
Okay.
like every day.
okay.
So this is. I mean, I'm married with a Brazilian woman, so I never went out, slept, or whatever with French people. So I don't know how they wake or whatever. But what I could experience by observation is that, for example, the guy or the girl, they are using the same T-shirt all the week,
Okay.
and shit happens. You know, you get like myself. This T-shirt here, I cannot wear it
Yeah,
tomorrow
I don't-
because it will be sticky.
Too much
It's smelly,
information.
you know.
Okay.
Too much information.
That
So
actually
I
makes
think
more
this-
sense. Really doesn't make sense for people not to shower, but it does make sense to reuse clothes.
In France or America. Not
Yeah,
in Brazil.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
no,
do it, but it does make sense.
But again, another explanation. It's cold as hell over there. They are never. You don't go out like this. But the problem is when you get to use your sweater or whatever you guys like. I just use t-shirts. Even there, it was just using t-shirts and you know, and what the t-shirt that you guys are using, you don't. They don't never show it, so they never take off the sweater. And the problem is when they do, you know. So,
Okay.
So in summertime, when it's like 33 degrees inside a building, because the buildings are done, the way they are built is for heat, not to go out. You know, so it's always warm inside because it's really cold outside. But when it's hot outside, you're like inside a marmita. You know, I don't know how to say that in English, but you know.
Like a lunchbox, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
lunchbox.
Yeah, exactly. Inside a lunchbox, and it's hot, so they have to take out the sweater. And when they do take out, you can, you know,
Smell the tuna.
you experience the tuna. Yeah.
Right.
But,
All right.
but the same thing happened with me when I hate cold weather because you have to go out, put some really big
heavy clothes.
clothes, you know. But I start walk. I'm a fat motherfucker. I sweat like a pig, you know. So you get the point. When I get to point B, and I have to take the heavy clothes, the sweater off, I am like a butter, you know. So you know. So what I did was I was going by bike, so I was putting one set of clothes to go. Then I got in the place. I ripped everything off, changed new clothes. Sometimes I took a shower and people were like, taking a shower. You know?
Save water, Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it.
One more question. Two, I guess. Tell me, please, one thing that is much better in France. That you say, why don't people do that in Brazil? And one thing that is much better in Brazil.
Beer. You know me. I don't drink. I don't like, but in France, it's not that I don't like to drink over there. Is that I just can't because I drink 1 pint of beer and I'm done for like the week. But their beer is amazing. I mean, it's not this, you know,
watery
shit. Yeah, water juice shit that we have here. It's some really good stuff. So the beer, the summer, I'm gonna give you two. The summer over there is really good.
Better than here?
It's too hot here, man. Too hot here.
It was better than here because you have sun all over. You know, you have sun from 5 a.m. until 11 p.m. So you get to go to work, and it is I don't know 10 p.m. There's sun. It's like 4 p.m. You know, so that's amazing. I was in traveling during these times. This is really great. And the third thing, I think it's the most important one. They do have way more vacation than we do. So while we have like 30 days per year holidays, right? They have 45, 47. So this is awesome. What is better in Brazil? Everything else. I mean, except for Bolsonaro, this scumbag motherfucker, everything else, you know.
Okay.
Like what? The food?
Yeah, I mean.
What do you mean by everything else?
This is my point of view, right? You're talking to a guy that I love to hang out with my family. I like to be in hot weather. So the weather here is amazing. Being close to my friends and family, it is amazing as well. Except now in COVID that we don't get to see and hang out. But so for me, it's something that you can never take it away from me. It's to be, you know, close of my family. I'm sounding like Dominic Toretto. The important thing in life is family. But
who is Dominic Toretto?
Oh, Fast and Furious, for God's sakes.
Dom.
Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Bad reference, man. Bad reference.
Oh.
Okay.
You're with the wrong crowd for that reference, man.
Yes, but it's fine.
You don't like? You don't like? Fast and Furious? Okay, bye.
I've never watched any of the movies.
That's why I don't like it.
I
That's
like The
why. That's
Rock.
why.
I like Jason Statham. I don't
Okay.
like the
Okay.
Fast and the Furious though. But
Okay.
it's
I
okay.
respect you. If you like
Okay.
The Rock, I can respect you. Yeah.
How can I
Doesn't
not?
everyone like The Rock?
See,
Yeah, he's amazing, right?
The
Who
Rock
doesn't like The Rock? That's like not
But
liking ice cream or.
yeah, but if you do like The Rock, I strongly invite you to watch one scene. I'm gonna send you after. There's one scene in Fast and Furious where there is The Rock and I forgot the name of the other guy, whatever. And here he's walking inside the set, and the guy makes some joke with him, and he makes a better joke right back at him, and that is inside the movie. But the thing is, these two guys, I think they don't like, they're not friends, and they don't get along. And the joke of the first guy was in the script, but the answer wasn't. And it was really good of an answer. And the other actor, the third actor in the scene, he was drinking some beer, and he was like to laugh, and it's well,
The
I'm gonna
Rock.
send you a picture.
I remember The Rock made one of the best jokes I've heard. He said that I remember there was a fake campaign. Uh, Tom Hanks, The Rock for presidency. And I said, "Oh my God, who? How can they not win that?" But then, it turned out it was fake. I wanted to go to America, become American to vote, and but then it was fake. And The Rock says that everybody is going to identify with him because for white people he's white, for black people he's black, for brown people he's brown. So he's everything. Nobody knows what he is. So
But that's why it's so hard to get to be an immigrant in the U.S. because we don't know how to vote. So they don't want us.
but they do, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's an American in the room, so let's not talk about America.
Yeah,
Our politics.
you're gonna hurt my feelings so much. Because,
Yes. So, anyways.
But I really like America, and I know Rodrigo. I think you don't, but I think it's amazing.
You think I don't like America?
I don't know.
I think you've got that confused.
Yeah.
You like it? Do you like it?
A little.
I,
Kind of.
I, I,
I
I
ate
really like
Velveeta out of the box. That's how much I like America.
This is gonna sound like a joke, but it's true. Rodrigo likes America so much, he logs onto Walmart.com just to look at the products that he can't buy.
damn.
And I'm not a designer doing benchmark.
Nah, good one. You made a research. That's nice.
Yeah, so I was just on Walmart websites. I downloaded a VPN thing, a proxy thing, because every time I went to Walmart.com, it redirected me to Brazil and said, "How can I do that?" And then I went to a proxy, and I got into the well. It doesn't sound funny. It just sounds a little sad, but fine.
But I kind of do that as well. I keep looking to things that I will get to buy when I'm traveling over there. So
Okay, that's not sad. The thing is, I never get to buy or go, so that is. But anyways, now I would like to talk to you about something you mentioned before. You said that you learned the basics, or you learned design by yourself. You're self-taught, and then French. Did you go to school? Did you get to go to school, like official school? No, you learned
no,
by yourself. Okay, what about English? Did you go to school?
no.
No? Okay. So, what about guitar?
Yes.
You went to school. Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's why you're not such a great guitar player. Because someone taught you. Okay.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. That's why I'm
so-
not Dave Grohl.
Now you know what to do, right? Just forget about all your teachings and just play. Now my question is.
But for the record, I never learned a lot. The only thing I learned in guitar school was to play like a right-handed guy if I am left-handed guy.
Okay.
I don't know if
Are you
this-
left-handed?
Yeah, I'm left-handed. Yeah. and I play like right-handed.
Okay, yeah, that's difficult.
Not for me.
No, not in here. Okay, but it is.
For me, it's difficult to play the other way. You know,
Okay.
like I supposed to.
Now, do you believe? Do you think there's a type of personality, like there's a type of person, or there's a type of people that learns things? Because I'm very similar to you, and I learned a little French when Yves, one of my French friends, talked to me a lot. So in 6 months, I could talk to him. Now I don't remember anything. I couldn't read or write anything, but I could talk to him and understand him mostly. English I learned by myself. I got to study. I got to go to college later, but I learned by myself. Music, guitar, keyboard, drums, bass, I learned by myself. Do you think there's like a type of personality like that 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 prefers to do that, to learn by themselves? What do you think that?
I don't know if we prefer. At least I don't see value. I go learn and I pay for learning when I see value on it. And if I don't know shit about the subject, why am I going to pay something, you know? So when I see value and I said, oh, I can take something out of this, I'm gonna pay for it. And French is a great example. I did like 2 months of class before. I learned shit, jack shit, nothing. Um, English, I never studied English in my life. Never, never, never. And I don't want. You know, I think it's the way it is good. And
No,
screw it.
man, we're both teachers. Yeah, people should have classes with us. That's
Yeah,
what you're
I mean,
supposed to say.
Always.
Well,
Your
that's-
English is terrible because you don't study. You need
We
to
paid
get
you-
classes.
We paid you
Yes.
all the money, man. We paid you all the money to
I'll get
say
there.
that.
I'll get there.
Come on.
Hold your horses. I'll get there. However, I did, I did go to French class after 1 year and a half speaking French, because I was feeling the need to improve, and I didn't know what I didn't know. You know, like today, you guys can bet that after our discussion here, and I did that with Rodrigo already. I keep asking, oh, could you please tell me where I shit in the bed, because I don't have a clue, you know. So I know that I can do fine in the, like, if I have to pitch for an investor, I'm okay. I don't have afraid of speaking in public or whatever, in whatever language, French, English, Portuguese. However, if I know there is some pro in the room, after, I'm for sure going to ask for feedback and say, where did I shit in the bed? Because I want to improve. And also, I did that with French, I did that with design, I did that with English at some point, because I asked Rodrigo, which was my reference, and say, hey man, could you please take a look at my videos that I'm doing in English and tell me where I got things wrong, or whatever, you know. And he was really kind enough to say, oh, before publishing it, send it to me, I can review it, and you know.
Never did.
Never did, because I'm gonna waste the time, you know. I already speak perfectly, so what's the point? No, just kidding. But so I think after we, at least for myself, I see value for something. I see, oh, I can learn something more that I don't know where to get the information, and maybe by myself it will take me too much time to figure it out. Let me pay for it and see if I can fast forward some learning, you know.
Okay. And you said you were going to get to the point where people should have classes with Ryan and I and myself, right?
Yeah, sure. Don't.
So guys, okay.
But it's for the record. My mother, she did some classes with Rodrigo, and I was impressed. She learned a bunch of nothing. No, just kidding. She today she stopped because she has other things to do, and English was not on her top priorities for the moment. But she learned what she needs to take a look at some text and recognize what's saying, and you know that she don't get lost actually. And she was trying to learn English for her entire life, and you were like 3 months, 4 months with her,
Yeah, 3 or 4 months.
And Jesus, I mean, I today I turn my phone to her, and my phone is always in English. All my stuff, my computer, everything is in English. I search on Google in English. I don't know how to search in Portuguese. And I show her, and she gets to understand, and that's what's learning for me, so I was trying to say that you guys are, at least Rodrigo, which I know he's a really good teacher.
Yeah.
So,
And Rodrigo taught me, so I must be better than him by now.
Well, for sure, because
but he taught Portuguese,
No, no.
English.
He taught me to teach.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Ryan.
He's my teacher. He's my sensei.
Yeah, you're my senpai.
Yeah,
Ryan.
there you go.
Fabio is also senpai. You get the joke because his father died. No, I'm kidding. So
now that one is good. That's a good
that
one.
Yes, Fabio would laugh and then cry and then laugh. So, anyways,
But I have a really good friend that he's for this digital transformation topic. He is teaching the people that are teaching others how to teach. So he's like a sensei of the sensei,
it's like Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Not Seagal, Seagal. Seagal is like a seagull.
Eagle, like a bird.
Seagulls fly, right? Steven Seagal, he kicks.
Exactly. So, all right, I get it. But Ryan, actually, you're not giving enough credit to Maya.
Yeah, sure.
She
Maya
actually,
Maya
Maya-
3D.
No, Maya was one of Ryan's instructors, and she taught Ryan how to teach intuitively by
You're-
telling Ryan to
Teach intuitively. That was the class. Was her just standing in front of the group of teachers being like, okay, it's important that you teach intuitively. And then she gave us this handout that said, teach intuitively.
And then they have questions. Yes. How do we do it? Just teach intuitively.
Just do it, guys. Come on.
Yes.
Whatever's in your
I'm
heart,
doing it now.
spit it out.
Yeah. So.
That could be dangerous if you're in a bad day, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey teacher, how do I order bread? And like piece of say, give me 5 bands, motherfucker, piece of shit.
How do I order bread? Well, just go there and don't have bread and be hungry, and you'll learn.
But listen, this is how you teach intuitively. Do you remember the day at Centro Botanico that I was teaching the students what burp was? And they said, teacher, what is this word burp? And I
Burped. And I was the coordinator. Ryan was the teacher, and I was sitting in the
grading
room, and
my
I was
class. He was supposed to be grading my class to be like, is Ryan a good
was
teacher? Is he doing a good job?
I was taking notes, and I was like, "What? Did you just burp in class?" And Ryan said, "Well, it's teaching intuitively," and people are like, "Ah." I said, "Ah."
And everybody's like,
It's
It worked.
it's just good they didn't want to know what fart was.
Oh yeah, exactly. Or anything, yeah, worse. So,
we can stop there, yeah. Alright, we
yeah.
gotta-
Well, we didn't get to that lesson, right?
But you know what? I really like this line of teaching. I'm not a teacher, but sometimes I do have to mentor people. And the learn by doing is my thing, So when somebody asks me how do I design, I was like, okay, let's design.
Design is something very practical. Right? It's like speaking English. If you want to learn, like for example, I had a student that needed to learn medical English. He only needed to read papers. So he said, "Teacher, no English in class. No, just help." I was just a translator, and he ended up learning because he is methodical. He is disciplined. So he read a bunch of English. But he didn't actually need me. But to learn how to speak, you have to speak. You have to make mistakes. You have to. So how? I need to speak English. Okay, so let's speak. And of course, you have a methodology, but you have to speak. Now, you said that you work. What do you do now? What have you been up to? No.
Yeah. So,
You've been,
uh,
you're back to Brazil for
yeah,
good, or
for good. Yeah, I was in Europe. I stood like 4 years in France, where I was leading user experience design globally for the group. Also, I was the head of UX and also head of agility. And then I decided it was time to go back to Brazil, and I think my mission over there was accomplished, and I started to start my own company. I decided to start my own company, not by myself, with a partner, which is a former colleague at Leroy Merlin that we were working together, and he was in the same team that I was when we did the transformation back in time. So we started our own consulting agency, and where we are doing some work towards digital transformation, improving the experience of your clients or the people that are going to your website, or inside, even inside your physical store, the performance of your advertising online or your digital marketing. So we are kind of doing this, not kind of, we are doing this job and bringing some great results for other retailers in Brazil. So we are like for the past 6 months we are working on that. But when I started, it was funny because when I started this company with him, I was still working in France, and I didn't have figured out with my wife if we were going to go back actually, and that was part of the decision. I was like passionate. I was like in love with the idea of starting my own company, and living the dream. Uh, and yeah, things started go better than we thought. And I said, okay, maybe we can go back safely and see how it goes. So nowadays I'm doing. I'm an entrepreneur and doing some
consulting?
consulting consulting work for some retailers. I'm getting to do a lot more, way more design than I was doing, because when you are head of design inside a big corp company, you don't get to do lots of design work because you have to clear the way for the
You're in the
people working.
management position, right? The
Yeah, so you
managing
have,
part.
yeah, I had to clear the way for the people working with me. They could do awesome work. So that was what I was doing, now what I am doing nowadays.
Okay, and what are your expectations for the near future? Do you, I don't know, are you, I know that you're back for good, but have you settled in already? Do you have your stuff here? Did you have a lot of things from France you have to bring? And
Yeah, we didn't bring a lot of things because
did you
I
bring
mean,
your cats?
yeah, the cats are here. I mean, I brought my guitars, I brought the tech stuff, we brought everything, but the furnitures and stuff like that we didn't bring because it was too expensive. With the currency as it is, I mean, we could buy the whole house twice.
Okay.
So we said, okay. So we did some donations in France. We helped a guy that didn't have a roof, and the government find him this house, and we gave a lot of stuff for him to use in his house, and the rest we sold. um, and we brought only the things that we are not be able to buy easily here. So, and now we are like, this is the new place. It's a big one, so we're still arranging things, but yeah, we're back for good. We don't have plans of moving again in the near future. uh, of course, if there is some crazy opportunity like to work in a huge company, why not? But I don't see it coming in the near future, because when you start to work to be your own boss, between quotes, it's nice because you have the fear of not making it right and go bankrupt. But on the other hand, when you do make it right, it's way more fun, I would say.
Satisfying.
Yeah, satisfying. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a wrap That's it. For do you have any questions for Ryan and I? No, actually, ask us a question, please. I don't want to know if you do have
From
one.
do
Just
you have
think
any
of-
questions to giving him an order. Ask us a question
Yes.
now, bitch.
Just
You
ask
know,
us an interesting question. Okay?
all right. Let me think. Yeah, I do have a question for you guys. I think fast, huh? You know, as a marketer, I have to think
Yeah.
fast, and it's interesting because when I do not think fast, I have to pretend that I think fast, and I get to talk some bullshit while I'm thinking. For you know, when you have people paying attention for what you're saying,
So-
waiting for.
You just described all marketing forever. That's exactly
No.
what marketing is.
Yeah.
For me. For me.
Okay, I have a question for you guys now. Thank you. And the good thing is that I was waiting for some signal from you guys for what could be an interesting question. So that's here it goes. What was the last thing you guys bought and why?
Sfiha.
Ah,
I was hungry.
Oh, fat fuck. Okay.
yeah. I bought these headphones today
Why?
because the old headphones were cheap and they hurt my head.
They hurt your head, right? And Jesus Christ, Ryan, just get over that. They hurt your head. It's
They
just
do that.
Yeah.
They do hurt. I have to empathize with that. But the question is, why did you buy those
Oh,
particular...
these specific ones? Oh,
Yeah.
because I was walking down the street and I said, "Oh, look, there's a electronic store," and I walked in and I said, "Show me the headphones," and these were the ones the guy showed me.
But he just showed you this one?
He showed me another one
First.
that was red, and I didn't like the red ones.
not,
I-
that, not that red headphones are ugly. No,
They are. I don't like colorful things. I'm more of a monochromic guy, if you can tell from my black and white and gray and black glasses thing going on here. Yeah, I would have preferred these to be black. Actually, that would have been perfect. And
But-
I'm actually angry because I had a very comfortable, nice black headphones that broke.
Oh, and why did you not buy the same brand or the same style again?
I couldn't find them.
Oh, they were out of market?
Yeah, I could find them again in red.
and,
Got
and
it.
I bought those particular Sfihas because I got a WhatsApp message, digital marketing, direct digital marketing. I got a WhatsApp message that said 2 for 1. And then I was
So
hungry.
price, right?
So, quantity
Quantity over price.
over price. Both,
Quantity
yes,
is a
price.
quality. Come on.
Exactly. For me, you guys can see. So in that case, yeah, price, quantity, not quality. But turned out it was good. They were good. So
Yeah,
jackpot.
exactly. You know, so it was Habib's? No, I hope not.
No. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so it was like this big Sfihas.
Yeah, just a little bigger than Habib's, but they were better. They were made of there was some meat. Okay, so pardon me, but it was real meat. You know, not like Habib's. They make out of I don't know, man. I don't know. They use weird stuff to make those Sfihas.
Yeah.
So
So the fact that you get to recognize a few of the ingredients that they were using it, did this will make you choose that again or not?
what?
That brand. You were describing that you could recognize the meat and whatever was inside your
They were
Sfiha.
fresher. They were fresher.
Okay, and would it be a choice for you if are you going to order again for this brand? Because I'm figuring you bought that on iFood or whatever. Next time you're ordering on iFood, are you going to choose the same restaurant to order or not?
Oh, I never order Sfiha, but when I do order again, I will if they still have the promotion because it is important to me that they're good, but it is very important that I have two for one. So
Got it.
yeah.
Okay, and if the price is slightly higher, like 10 cents
No,
higher.
it like today, for example, I just wanted something quick. So, but usually I go with what was best, even if the price is a little higher. Now that I can, now that I'm
Okay.
rich and have all the money, uh, now I do that. But before,
Cool.
yeah, before I used
All
to
right.
eat Habib's
And how was it for you to order? How did you do that?
WhatsApp. They
Over
sent me a
WhatsApp?
message. They sent me a message on WhatsApp, like because one day I ordered pizza years ago, and they sent a message on WhatsApp saying two sweets for one, and I said, "Oh, so can I have the menu?" They sent me the menu. I chose, and I said, "I want this, 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 and this." And then they sent me the sweetness.
And how did you feel when you got this message out of nowhere on WhatsApp?
How did I feel?
Yeah, I mean,
Feel-
you open your WhatsApp and you had this message from.
No, actually, I looked for the message because I remember they had sent me this week, and I was hungry and I felt like esfirra, and I said, "Ah, I remember they sent me that message this week." But I don't really mind when people send me WhatsApp messages about food. I
Okay.
like it. I like it. But if, for example, if if I got messages about headphones, I'll be like, "What? I can't eat a headphone. Send me.
Oh, you
You guys have
could.
food?
I bet you
Yeah,
could.
yeah, I could.
Uh,
So, but it's if it's food, okay.
All right. So that's kind of what I do. Sometimes I go into companies and I get in a room with like a bunch of your customers
I
and we
see.
start discussing and talking, and uh, I bet if the owner of the restaurant was listening what you were saying, and he would be able to either use it like in a qualitative way and to see how one of their customers like and why, and how it connects with whatever strategy they have going. Like for example, if they want to be recognized for a restaurant that provides fresh ingredients in their foods, and he sees, or she, I don't know if it's that this is something you got when you ate it, they will be, oh, spot on, let's do that, but let's not drop the price. The performance, all the deals that we're doing to attract more customers, let's keep doing it. But I would say, based on what you said, sometimes I would charge maybe a little bit more to see if the quality of our fresh ingredients uh, are more a part of the choice that you are
Then the
using
price.
than the price, because that's when the profit will kick,
I see. I see what you're.
so
Very
I help
honest.
them, because sometimes this restaurant, maybe they don't care about the fresh products because they think, oh, everybody should have fresh products, duh. you know Habibs, they are not the real deal, they're posers. And but we do have to have great price, and they are burning their profit for a quality that you are not expecting, you know
I
but
see
if they
what
do
you.
it, no. So that's kind of what I do, not just with marketing, but also the way the experience you're having to buy something from them. Also analyze that. How can we make the best experience possible? For example, next time you're going to order, you're you're already in their WhatsApp, so you have this proximity. They're not going to say, "Tell us your phone," or say, "Hey, Rodrigo, what up? Some 2 for 1 today? Yeah, meat again?"
Sure,
Or are you
always.
going, vegan like a good people should?
Ah,
Meat person.
I was expecting for that. Ryan, show Ali just this last part, okay? Yeah. Ali is going vegetarian and soon enough to be a vegan.
and
Ryan's
soon
watching.
enough,
Nice.
and soon enough, just nothing. She's not going to eat anymore ever again.
Food. Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan and I, we are the real.
Then she can start with headphones.
I guess. I don't know.
That's when you start with headphones.
Because once you stop eating meat, you go vegetarian, and then you go to vegan, and then you got to keep going, right? You can't just stop. So then what's the step after vegan?
There is these guys that they just eat whatever that falls off the tree.
Vegans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of friends that were vegans, but that actually.
I would say like this.
Those are not vegans. They're like more extreme vegans.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of friends that were vegans. They were in at Casa da Lagarde Chaparita here in Santo André, and they eat for free. Like they went to the street fair and they got the food they had. So those are vegans. Well, Thiago, it's been a pleasure talking to you again. It's nice, an hour and a half of conversation. And that was cool because I learned everything I needed to learn about your life so far, so I don't even need to get back to talking to you again.
And
I know everything.
Now you can assume his identity and just become him. So.
Just kidding. Yeah, he can clone me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It would be like the mini me, right? But uglier.
Yeah, but bigger you.
Uglier.
Like Maxi you.
Uglier.
Well,
does that exist?
Yes.
Uglier than you or uglier than Rodrigo?
Then whatever. It's uglier.
Yes, it's just uglier.
No.
There's no way how to have something beautiful out of it.
Okay. So,
Well, cool.
Ryan.
So yeah, thanks for coming on, Thiago, and thanks for everybody for watching, and we will see everybody next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can catch us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, everybody, all of those websites all over the internet. It's great. It's awesome. And thanks, everybody. See you later.